You're going to have folks, well, okay, you don't have to believe in it, but you're going to do it.
You get to
And
that.
then you're going to see the results, and then you can believe. So you don't necessarily have to believe in it first. And on an intellectual way, even if you didn't believe that it could work, you knew that you needed to do something different, right? Like we didn't want to be last, so we knew we needed to do something different. And so
this is one of the key, so it's very, very important. If you look at the book Driven by Data and then Leverage Leadership by Paul Bambrick and Toyo, you do not try to change beliefs, you change practice. And when the results come, then there's dissonance they got to wrestle with.
That's right.
Well, why did that happen? Now the beliefs can begin to change. But what a lot of system leaders and community advocates, where they go wrong is they spend all their time circulating them beliefs. So we're talking about prejudice and racism and classism and this and that and your belief in all kids and all that stuff. And by the time you finish arguing with that, they're gone, you gone, and the initiative just died. The money didn't ran out. I just need you to, here's a template for the data-driven instruction for this cycle, for this, look at this standard, that they did 2 right on this one, and the same standard, this one they missed wrong, what did they get wrong? Why did so you drill down to the details of practice.
and I don't know if this is a policy piece necessarily, but I think always encouraging folks to have honest conversations about race, about poverty, right? Different backgrounds. That makes us richer and more well-informed, and ignoring the lack of knowledge or the differences is not helpful.
Well, it's tricky because in places like Oakland, that's all we do is talk about race. I'm not playing. They'll tell you. We'll have a whole board meeting talking about race till we get so wound up, and they just shut it down. So there's a I'm serious. It's the same thing in other districts. So there's a healthy balance between talking about some of this stuff is because it's important, and you want to have developed people, and you want to have people who can engage with different communities and all that. And we're going to get to teaching and learning at some point, the nuts and bolts of instruction. If that's not on the table, we could rotate in this sphere forever. When the at least results were low in the district and lowest in the state, what did people attribute it to?
Part of the community blamed the kids, those kids. They can't learn, they won't learn. So it was different opinions about it. Our society has downplayed, I feel like, the role of teachers until COVID came. A lot of it was that, and then those kids. They looked at our population like they can't learn. You guys have those kids.
I think this room can relate to that. There are a lot of folks here in different systems who have heard those kids.
Right.
Right? Whether it's Brooklyn or Savannah Chatham or Baltimore or Albuquerque, New Mexico, or Oakland. That's why they're here.
Yep.
Because we have, and the interesting is that's a lot of different places, but it just so happens that those kids are everywhere.
Right.
Just so happens.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. If you could give them one thing, if you could say, hey, whatever you take away from this, make sure you do X. I'm going to give you a second to think about it, but I want you to be able to, is that all right, the answer? Just make sure you write this one thing down. Go ahead.
For too long, we hold young people, children, accountable for the shortcomings of adults. Part of the problem in this country is that we place the burden on the most vulnerable instead of requiring the most powerful to be accountable and to solve problems. So we fail young people, we fail children when they are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
And they don't learn how to read. They don't feel included in the classroom conversation. They don't feel empowered to achieve. And then at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we call them bad kids. And we suspend them. And then 16, 17, 18, and on up, folks start getting locked up and incarcerated, and they are called the problem in society, when really society has failed them at every step of the way. And so whether you like to teach reading because you like how it expands the minds of children, or whether you like reading because of the places that it takes you, or you just fancy the way that people craft words and arrange words, or you see this as a freedom issue. Thank you for your work. Brother Kareem, thank you so much. And I would just say that, and educators, you already have to know this, but I will reinforce this for you. Every little thing that you do counts. And when you plant seeds, you never know how big the blossom is going to be, and how something from one thing that blossoms may germinate here or there. And so I'm grateful to have been in a position to offer the testimony, but I'm super grateful for the work that you've done, because the work of Fulcrum, the work that you all are doing to expand reading, is at least as impactful as the law that was passed, the bill that I was testifying on. At least as impactful, and probably more impactful, simply because you have used that testimony as inspiration to create a national initiative to impact the lives of young people. So thank you so very much, and I'm just delighted to be able to share the evening with all of you, and I look forward to learning from you all as well while we're in this space. Thank you.